Welcome back to Meet the Author. We have a great guest today. We have with us Gay Polk Payton. Gay.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and so glad you could come on our show.
Thank you for
Gay
having
is an
me.
amazing person here. She has so many different talents. She's an author, she's a lawyer, she's a judge, she's a singer, she's a promoter of good morality across the world, and so we're so glad to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
You've got this new book, PSA, Public Service Announcement. Here, you hold the book,
Okay.
show the camera. With a little thing underneath that shows the title. Yes, Gail Polk, author of This Has Been a Public Service Announcement.
Yes.
Tell us about this book.
Okay, well, this book is called This Has Been a Public Service Announcement because the way I see it, public service announcements are information that's disseminated for the greater good of society. So I try to give people information that will help them to avoid pitfalls in their life. It's divided into 7 categories: general, relationships, for men, for women, single parenting, fitness, and religion. And I just talk about those things from my perspective based on a concept I learned in law school called res ipsa loquitur. And that means
What's it called in Latin?
res ipsa loquitur.
Res ipsa loquitur. And
Yes,
what does it mean?
it means the thing speaks for itself.
Okay.
And in my hood, that meant it is what it is. So I give it straight, no chaser. You know, it's PG-13, so you can give it to your teenager to teach them some things about life. But it's also very clear. I'm very clear on the things that I say.
So what kind of things are you talking about? Give us some examples of what you might, a reader might find in that book.
Well, if you're talking about the general PSAs, you know, I will give people legal examples of things that they can do, like in the relationship PSAs, I talk about the attractive nuisance doctrine. It's a doctrine in the law that talks about things that may be on your property that are inherently dangerous, but people may not be able to appreciate the danger of it. You know, there's certain
swimming pool?
Yeah, a swimming pool, a sand pit, you know, a stack of cars if you have a junkyard. But there are members of society, vulnerable children, that may not be able to appreciate the danger of it. But that doesn't mean that you're not per se liable if they trespass on your property and they are injured by that thing on your property. So when you're dating, and you see this beautiful woman come into the club, you know, and you see she's beautiful, but you don't see the nuisance behind the attraction. All you know is that she's beautiful. You don't see that there's a repo man looking for her car. You haven't been to her house, so you don't know if there's an eviction notice on her door. You don't know that she has 3 kids that live with her mama because she can't get her life together enough to take care of them herself. You just don't know. You see this man walk in the club, he's got these big broad shoulders. You don't know that there are 3 outstanding warrants for domestic violence against him. You don't know that he lives in his mama's basement. You don't know any of that because all you see is the attraction. You don't see the nuisance behind the attraction. And the reason that I liken it to the legal concept of attractive nuisance is because a child may see a pool and they see water and they think about their pool, their tub at home, or their little wading pool at their house, and they don't realize that there is too much water for them to handle, and they don't realize it until it is destroying them. Just like in relationships, you don't realize that that person is an attractive nuisance until they are destroying your life.
Wow, there's so many lessons in life that you have to tell. That's really impressive. Now, I'm going to ask you, you put this book together, you were telling me earlier, you put this book together from blogs, some things that you put out on Facebook. So you have your own Facebook page. Put up a Facebook page for us. And you've been putting up this Facebook blog for how long now?
Oh, gosh, for probably about 10 years almost.
10 years.
Yes, I've been just putting things on Facebook. You know, I'll see people do things, or somebody will come to my office and they'll have a legal situation that they'll come and consult with me about, or I'll see somebody in court that had a situation, you know, when I was there representing someone, and I would take that situation and just write a general PSA about it. Yeah. But when I started putting my PSAs together, I realized that they fell into these categories. They just fell into the categories. I didn't even have to do anything. It's just like, it seemed like they just fell there. So I have the men think that my chapter on men is, you know, extensively long. It's too long, but I think that y'all need the most help.
Maybe some truth to that. Maybe men do need the most help. I don't know. I may have a different perspective on that, but whatever. So you really quite distinguish. I was mentioning at the beginning of the show, you're a lawyer. And how long have you been a lawyer?
I have been a lawyer for 23 years.
Graduated from?
University of Mississippi School of Law, also known as Ole Miss.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. And now you're, yes, very proud. And then you settled in Hattiesburg?
Yes, I was born and raised in Hattiesburg.
Born and raised, and And by the way, you have a man of your own, just throw that out there.
It's complicated.
Okay, we'll let that one pass.
We'll leave that alone.
And then you have, and then you're more than one judge. You're a city judge and a county judge.
Yes.
And how long's that been going on?
Well, I've been a justice court judge in Forest County for 7.5 years, and I've been a city judge really for just about a month. I just got appointed by the mayor just a few weeks ago.
And what does a city judge do?
Well, it's kind of like what the justice court judge does, only difference is the city judge doesn't handle civil cases. Okay. They're mostly criminal cases in city court. So we just don't know. It's like a box of chocolates. Whatever happened over the weekend.
Like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, whatever happened over the weekend, whether it's a DUI or a first appearance on a capital murder, we don't know what we're going to have to deal with when we get to court.
Okay.
Get to work on Monday.
That's my job too.
Yeah.
I'm an emergency room doctor. Never know what's going to walk through that door.
That's exactly true. That's exactly true. But so, I do have a son, and he is a junior in college, okay. And so I do talk about single parenting because I was a single parent for a very long time, and through his formative years, you know, from the time he was 8 until he was 18.
You talk about single parenting too, and advice, legal advice.
Legal advice and just general parenting advice, co-parenting advice, how to peacefully coexist with your baby mama or your baby daddy. You know, just telling them things that, you know, that they really should realize themselves, which is that you're going to have to share this child with this person until that child is old enough to make the decisions on their own. A lot of people don't want to deal with that, but it's just the truth of the matter.
That's the legal rules.
And in the state
the
of
other parent
Mississippi,
has the right to see that child unless they lose that right.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why, as a lawyer, I prefer criminal cases. I would rather have an OJ style criminal case than have a chancery court matter dealing with domestic cases, because
domestic cases are messy.
They are very messy. And one of the things that I've learned in a criminal case, somebody comes in my office and they're like, can you get me out of this? But then when somebody comes with a domestic case, they're asking me, can you restore me to the point of contemplation before I had sex with this fool and made a baby? No, I cannot. Nobody can do that.
All right, well, you know, that was a life lesson for sure.
Exactly. That's the kind of things that you'll find in this book. And so, you know, it helps you avoid pitfalls in life, and those will keep you from having to seek legal advice. So there's, you know, this book costs $15 on Amazon, but it can save you about $15,000
Put that up. Put the
fees.
Amazon link on that for. That's what you can get at website.
Yes, you can get it at my website, or you can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. You can download it for your Nook or your Kindle as well.
Oh, it's Kindle. All right, well, that would be fun. And you do something else. We talked about this previously. You see this on the back of your book. You're a singer.
Yes.
Tell me about the singing career.
Well, I've been singing since I was a little girl, and nobody's going to let me stop singing even if I wanted to. Around Hattiesburg, I'm the resident national anthem singer.
Wow.
Yes, I sing at
baseball games?
USM, baseball, football, basketball, what have you, whatever that, softball, whatever they have going on. When the city has events for 9/11, you know, I sing at those events, or swearing-in ceremonies for judges, what have you. I sing the national anthem, and I love singing the national anthem. And you know, I think that a lot of people love the way I sing it because I have a natural vibrato to my voice, but I don't butcher the anthem. The anthem is a beautiful song. It has natural rises and falls. You don't have to add too much of your own flavor to it. I think Francis Scott Key knew what he was doing. But anyway,
he probably did.
He probably knew what he was doing. But I've been writing probably for about 15 years maybe, and it's like my song. The first song I wrote is called.
How many minutes? 2 minutes, go ahead.
Okay. The first song I wrote is called God Gives Me, and it woke me up in the middle of the night, and I wrote it in about 15 minutes. It just like went that quick, and then it ended up being on the soundtrack of a movie called Blackbird that starred Monique and Isaiah Washington. Yeah, so that was pretty exciting.
Claim to fame there.
Yeah, to go to the movie theater and hear my voice coming out of the speakers, that was pretty cool.
That was not only your voice, but the song you wrote too.
Right,
and
exactly.
you have 5 published songs.
Yes, yes. You can also get those on Amazon as well,
wonderful.
and my website. So.
Well, this is great. Anything else you want to say? We're rounding.
Well, I do have a religious chapter on my PSAs, and that basically talks about my faith. My son is a cancer survivor. He was 13 when he was diagnosed with the soft tissue sarcoma.
Wow,
and
that's so bad. Did he lose a limb on it?
He did not. He did not. I get that so many times. Every time I tell a doctor that story, I get that same question. And not only did he not lose the limb, but he built up the strength in that left leg that he had 31 radiation treatments on, 2 surgeries on, and he went through 7 rounds of chemo as well. But he built up the strength in the leg and started at left tackle for the 6A state champion Oak Grove Warriors.
That's
So yeah,
quite the story.
yes.
Kay, it's wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you
Thank you
for coming
so
on.
much for having me.
It's
It was
been
so
great.
much fun.
We undid tyranny. We undid callousness and hopelessness. We undid evil and evil's evil twin. We've come a long way. We undid impossible and impossibly impossible.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
We undid indignity and carelessness. Just look at all we've undone. Certainly, we can undo overwhelming. It's time to undo climate change. Undo your part. There's a simple, bipartisan solution to climate change Congress needs to hear about. Go to undoyourpart.com.